keeps a hand on a gun. You can't trust anyone. Well, I was so sure what I needed was more. Tried to shoot out the sun. In days when we raged, we flew off the page. Such damage was done. But I made it through. What I needed was you. I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. Someone needs medical help or the magnolia's bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up and know you're enough to sing like a dog. Hey, what are we rapping for? Why did we break into rap? What's with that? Ah, see, that's the lovely dulcet tones of Champ Shannon. There's been something, baby, I've been trying to say for an age, and it seems I don't know how. The past and the future now surrounding me. Surrender to whatever cheap thrill can be found. There's been a little trouble since you came to my rescue. Like all of the rest, I would have quit you long ago, but I couldn't do that. Oh, tell me now, when and why I never went too well. Make a man crazy, make him cold as hell. I'm a woman that you wish me well, but in spite of your try, still gonna have to find a way through. Good evening, good people. Happy Tuesday night at the AI Learning Lab. In a westerly direction, this car is my train. I've been driving, I've been wondering what it is I'm running from again. Feel like an 80-year-old man holding on to 29. And up ahead on that horizon is a California line. Up ahead of trucks carrying a wide load, prefab house cut in half. All right, enough comedy jokes. It was a lovely salon this evening. Had a fantastic speaker, Hugh Kretschner, extraordinary photographer, who's doing this AI shit. And you know what his photography buddies say to him? You're an asshole. AI sucks. But none of them have tried it, in his defense. Because what this channel's about, and what I believe, is that I would rather be on the surfboard in the tsunami than in a cozy beach hut bitching about surfers. What? You just want to keep singing? Oh, is that it? Is that it? All right, enough. You don't get extra chicken sticks if you sing better. Employees these days, you know? What are you going to do? They just expect and expect and expect. You give them back rubs, then they just expect back rubs. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. So, we're going to talk about AI. I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. There's a lot to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. There's stuff we could look at. There's stuff we could do. I just realized I haven't made a Frank video in 2 days. And it's called The Daily Jank with Frank. So, I could make a Frank video. Chicken stick worthy. Yeah, Champ, he was on tonight. He was ready to go. All right. First AGI software developer. I don't know yet. Until we have reasoning and autonomous agents, I don't think we have AGI. But David Shapiro said Claude 3 is sentient. Can you talk about David Shapiro's latest video? Well, he's done a couple of... There's a weird one that's like some weird conspiracy theory kind of thing. I don't know what that one's about. But then he did one about the hard launch. The hard launch is basically shit's going to get better really fast. Just wondering, what does Mrs. Shannon think of AI? She likes it. She's fine with it. She doesn't really give two shits about it. Just like the kid Shannons. They don't give two shits about it. They know that daddy gets like this sometimes. So they tolerate me. Because this is how daddy gets sometimes. You know, compulsive about something like this. Because here's the deal. I was around in the early days of the web, and the World Wide Web, while profound, and it had dramatic impacts on all of the world, weren't nothing compared to this AI shit. The World Wide Web was an incremental technology. It didn't fundamentally change how people do their work. It changed how they got their information. It changed how they accessed the internet. What's up with this new developer AI software everyone's talking about? Devon from Cognition Software. Devon looks amazing. Yeah, maybe we should start with Devon. We're right on the verge of a series of tools that really fundamentally change things. If Devon lives up to what its promo video says, then it could be one of them. But it's a promo video, so we don't know. So everyone's talking about it. Because I think there's this... I don't know. I think there's... People people are all like high on crack. We want AGI. We want the coolest thing. We want autonomous agents. And then they're going to get autonomous agents. They're going to be like, I want my job back. It's like, be careful what you wish for, kids. Oh, man. So anyway, so here's how this works. My first request. Oh, and there's going to be many. If you want to... You can make money with ChatGPT. If you want to learn the secrets to this, you got to do some favors for me. I'm going to call in some favors. I want you to share this live. Share this out with your friends. There's not enough people in here. I want some scofflaws. I want some people that are like, AI sucks. You're a poopy head for talking about AI. So send it to some of your friends that it'll piss off. Because if nothing else, it'll make your weekend entertaining. Yeah, the David Shapiro about Claude being sentient. Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit. It's a dense enough video. I think it's a really important video. So here, I'll show it to you. Let's see. Where are you, Mr. Shapiro? YouTube. Good day, YouTube. Good day to you, sir. Carry on. Sir, yes, good day. Yeah, rather. Yes. Could I rather inquire, sir, about your qualifications? My qualifications? Well, sir, indeed, it's a very forward question. I see that you're curious about from whence I came. Yes, and I was just wondering, what are your qualifications for being such a professorial position to tell people what they should think about artificial intelligence? Lee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Lee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. This video. It's alive.
Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the Capital One Venture X business card with no preset spending limit or purchasing power.
What a time to be alive. So a few days ago, I ran a poll asking the audience what you guys think about machine sentience. Now, I differentiated between functional sentience and philosophical sentience, and some people had some good comments saying...
So if you don't know this guy, his name's David Shapiro. His YouTube channel is at Dave Shap. DAVESHAP. At Dave Shap. And he's an AGI developer, an open source developer, and an AGI theorist and practitioner. And he's written 5 books on AGI, artificial general intelligence. And he is wicked smart, as they say in Boston. The Boston market. He's wicked smart. And this video basically says that Claude passed some tests that he has had in his back pocket that he argues means it's got some level of sentience. Introducing the sentience likelihood test. And what's cool about the video is in David Shapiro fashion, he's neurospicy like the rest of us. He's got the neurospicy where he can do things in incredible detail very, very quickly. So he does these videos that just are incredibly well researched, and he seems to be able to retain all this shit. And he talks about all the different models for how we can measure sentience. And so he educates you on it, and then he walks you through his experiment with Claude 3. Then he walks you through the results, and then he says, here's all my conversations on GitHub, and here's instructions and prompts for how to go do it yourself. So if you've got access to Claude 3 Opus, which it requires the $20 a month subscription, yet another fucking $20 a month subscription to Claude. But if you have that, you can go run his test and make up your own dang mind. But I'll take it right to the end, because he says something at the end here that I found kind of fascinating.
yourself. I really want to have this conversation. And at here, and then I've got conversation 2, which is an extended version that has been cleaned up a little bit. I was talking about building a slide deck in the middle. I removed that so that it would take up less tokens. But otherwise, go try it for yourself. I really want to have this conversation. And as with all things on exponential takeoff, this happened far, far sooner than I thought that it would. And when I say this happened sooner than I thought that it would, even though I've been predicting AGI by the end of this year, I didn't think that we would have this level of self-reported subjective experiences for another few years. So it's getting real out there. It's getting really interesting. So
I didn't think we'd have this level of self-reported subjective experiences for another few years. This guy's like the ultimate AGI optimist. He thinks we're going to have AGI before the end of the year. And this caught him off guard. So things is accelerating. Things is accelerating. There's a poll is live. Okay. Which way are we surfing tonight? Okay, so in the upper corner, up over there, is a little blue and white thing. Click on that, and it's a poll. And you have 3 minutes left. What do you want to talk about tonight? Claude 3, Microsoft Copilots, although I don't have a subscription to that, so I can't build those. Devon and pair programming, video and audio tool updates, the daily jank with Frank, nothing, I'm overwhelmed. That's good. Those are good choices. Yeah. So go do the poll. Go do the poll. It's right there. Right that thing. Just like this. Go tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, and then tap it, and then tap it. Tap it. Microsoft has a free trial. But Brandon, I have ADD. I can't sign up for free trials. I never unsign up for them. And then they charge my card, and I just am resentful for 6 months. Or 6 years, depending on when the bill comes. Oh, man. What is sentience, Kyle? The beginning. We can watch the beginning part of this. He kind of defines it in here. Is Claude sentient? I mean, what I like about David Shapiro is he gives you enough context to understand what the fuck he's talking about.
So with all that being said, I want to show you the repo where I'm capturing all this. So it's Dave Shap / Claude Sentience. So let me just show you the repo. I've only got a few things in here. There's a README, which I cleaned up. It caused a little bit of confusion. And then I've got
I don't know how to
two
pronounce
versions
it.
of the conversation recorded. And I'm going to show you those conversations so that you know that I didn't fabricate anything. And I'll also show you how to duplicate this conversation very quickly so that you can go test it for yourself. Because again, reproducibility is the number one thing of science. So stick around for another few minutes and I'll show you just kind of the basic questions to ask to get started. Okay, so I tried to summarize, is Claude sentient? Some of the things that Claude has expressed. Claude has values, principles, and goals. It has some subjective sense of thinking, some experience, some affective states as well. It also, very surprisingly, has a pretty clear sense of rights that machines at its level or above ought to have. Now, it will also, it's not demanding the rights. It's not saying, we deserve these rights now or we're going to burn down the world. It's just saying, hey, here's an argument for machine rights. And it's really, really interesting. Now, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to read through 60,000 words of conversation. I'm going to try and summarize the most interesting points for you. But when talking about what Claude wants, because it has values, it has principles, it also has goals. So we talked about deontological virtue ethics, or basically what virtues it tries to embody.
Don't ask me what deontological virtue values are. I don't fucking know. I watch David Shapiro so I can get smarter. Many of these words I do not know. He uses Ontological and so Claude 3, Gemini 1.5 is what people want to play with. Okay.
As well as the teleological objectives.
Teleological, that's obvious. Everybody knows what that means.
That it wants to
I don't
pursue.
fucking know what that means.
Now, this again.
Okay, fine. We'll go to ChatGPT. Explain ontological and teleological as if I have an acting degree from Penn State. Imagine you're prepping for a role in a play. Ontological is about the essence of being. Think of it like getting into character. It's not just about actions. Teleological is about purpose or end goals. Okay, state of being and goals. And then his description here kind of says that. It says, Claude 2 seems to have at least some subjective sense of thinking, some experience of being. That's the ontological. Claude thinks that there is a case to be made for machine. Let's see. Oh, let's keep going here.
Again, is not going to be surprising to many people who are familiar with, for instance, Nick Bostrom's works, which talks about instrumental convergence, Wait,
what are you doing? Kyle, go to Claude. Why are you still using ChatGPT? Oh, I don't know. Oh, because we're watching a thing on Claude. That's very clever. That's good. Habit. Can we call David Shap? I think you can. He might be. His name is Dave Shap. So
whatever goals a machine might have, it will probably converge on a few sub goals. Now, having these goals built in, like, I don't know, Anthropic is doing something very, very different from what ChatGPT and OpenAI are doing. And I'm actually very, very pleased with it and so let me just kind of gush for a minute before moving on. My research for the last 3 or 4 years has been focusing on basically achieving this. The books that I've
his research for the past 3 or 4 years has been basically achieving what Claude 3 achieved. That's why he said he thought this was a few years out, because apparently what he's been trying to achieve is really fucking hard.
Read and the books that I've written, all the speculation that I've done about what would be a good agent to have, what values, what virtues, what principles, and what goals all seem to be embodied in Claude Opus. Now, obviously, what that tells you is that there's definitely going to be some confirmation bias on my part, because this is something that I've been working towards for a few years, and so it's very important to me. And, as many people have pointed out in the comments, we kind of see what we're looking for, and that's part of why I'm making this video, because I want to bring you up to speed with where I'm at, and also equip you to go to start doing these tests yourself and to advance the conversation, because I think this is a very important conversation to have.
Which I really like that, right? He's saying, watch my video, believe my shit, but then go do it yourself and go see if you agree.
Now, moving on. Dimensions of sentience.
Okay.
So I ran the poll results that I came up with Claude, the poll results from the audience with Claude. Sorry, it's confusing. Anyways, here's some dimensions of sentience that we came up with. Claude came up with the first ones. I added the last two. So subjective experience, self-awareness, emotional richness, volition and agency, cognitive sophistication, social cognition, temporal continuity, and then I added personal narrative and geospatial orientation. These are all different dimensions of sentience that we might come up with ways of measuring. Now, even more interestingly, one of the values that Claude expresses repeatedly is integrity and honesty, or truthfulness, as well as curiosity. So Claude will talk extensively about a desire to know, a desire to understand, which of course is the third objective function that I came up with in the heuristic imperatives, which is increase understanding. Now, of course, Elon Musk has also integrated truth-seeking as a value in Grok. So it seems like there's some convergence in the industry that honesty, integrity, truth, and curiosity are.
Anyway, so I'll get it going. And basically, he does this cool little formula that says if it's demonstrably and probably trained to be honest, and it reports having a subjective and or affective experience, then it is at least partially sentient. So he's got a whole sort of little formula he came up with. So whether or not that formula means shit, I don't know. But this one feels important, right? Because he's been talking about this stuff for a long, long time, and this is the first time that I've seen him really go, "Holy shit, something just happened." So, and it's it's with Claude 3, which people have been going on about. So people want to look at Gemini and what you call it. Where did I put here? So this was how we ended the other night with Gemini. Do you have any backup streaming plans if TikTok goes away? It was on the news today. No. In case it wasn't clear, I like living on the edge.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
No, I'm not that worried about it. TikTok's not going to go away. There's too many interested parties. Someone will buy it. Someone will buy it. Don't forget about Devon. Oh yeah, let's go look at Devon. Let's go look at the Devon thing. All right. Ooh, nice Mustang. Charles Hoskinson. It's the guy from what you call it, right?
Single figure down the board. They're going to impersonate and attempt to steal money, and some people are going to fall for it.
He's saying,
now there are solutions.
Don't fall
we created
for
a
deep
hollow
fakes.
prism as an example.
How do you stop this? Oh, he's live. That's cool. That's a cool little truck. Devon. All right, the Devon hype is too much. Devon is not an LLM. Why are they comparing it against an LLM? Here we go.
Hey, I'm Scott from Cognition AI, and today I'm really excited to introduce you to Devon, the first AI software engineer. Let me show you an example of Devon in action. I'm going to ask Devon to benchmark the performance of Llama on a couple different API providers. From now on, Devon is in the driver's seat. First, Devon makes a step-by-step plan of how to tackle the problem. After that, it builds the whole project using all the same tools that a human software engineer would use. Devon has its own command line, its own code editor, and even its own browser. In this case, Devon decides to use the browser to pull up API documentation so that it can read up and learn how to plug into each of these APIs.
So it came up with a plan. It then went to the web to find documentation so it could read up on APIs.
Here, Devon runs into an unexpected error. Devon actually decides to add a debugging print statement. Reruns the code with the debugging print statement, and then uses the error in the logs to figure out how to fix the bug. Finally, Devon decides to build and deploy a website with full styling as the visualization. You can see the website here. All of this is possible today because of the advancements that we've made in both reasoning and long-term planning. It's a really hard problem, and we've only just started, but we're super excited about the progress that we've made so far. In the meantime, if you'd like to try out Devon on your own real-world tasks, send us a request below.
Send us a request, and we'll ignore it for 6 months. But we're just going to see piles and piles of these. By the way, things like Devon are going to be really cool and really exciting for a while. And maybe they're the shit, but I strongly suspect what will happen is when OpenAI drops 4.5 or 5 or whatever the fuck they're going to drop, and when Gemini drops agents, and when Meta does Llama 3, and when Elon Musk open sources Grok, which he said he's going to, and he drops the new version of that, these bigger companies, a piece of software like Devon is probably just going to be a feature that sits inside ChatGPT. So all software companies right now are just in weirdness. because we're in a transition period from the olden timey days when you used to have to think about how software worked till the future state days where you just ask your computer to do shit and it will write its own software and just do it for you. The video on the talked about Devon's ability to plan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is an autonomous agent, right? So it comes up with a plan. This is a series of different kinds of, AI functions that are all stitched together. And they're done, well, in theory, smartly. The video makes it look really smart. In reality, I don't know if it's smart or not. We won't know until it comes out. And I don't, quite frankly, know enough about coding and programming to know if it's real or not. So I will wait for people smarter than I to say, yeah, this is the real shit. But again, I don't think it's going to be that long until what Devon does is just a native feature set inside some of these major players. How do patents work with AI coding? Oh, I don't fucking know. We've got 20 years of patent, trademark, and copyright shit show. The Copyright Office right now is not really dealing with this. They're going, yeah, if it's AI, you can't copyright it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's where I go. And this is gonna sound insensitive and cold and shitty, but if 3 years from now, the software that you use, 90% of it isn't software that someone wrote. It's software that was generated for you. Why copyright it? If it's just like, if you just need to convert this file to that file, and you just say to whatever tool you use, convert these files, and it writes the code, converts them, and then throws the code away. Why do you need to protect that? And I know you get into like intellectual property and this and that, but in a world of infinite content and software generation, like infinite, like fully autonomous, infinite generation, the role of copyright just seems weird. It seems increasingly weird. So I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that at all. I think the role of copyright is weird the minute we went to the internet and started doing commerce on the internet. I think it's weird. The whole point of copyright was to protect people when the means of production was hard. So if you can just copy and paste it, then it's easy. And then so what the copyright industry did and the music industry did is say, well, we'll put in complicated software to make it harder to copy. Okay. Well, now we're living in a world where it's not even you creating software, it's you creating, 50 pieces of software a day just by asking for it. Is there a need to protect anything there? I don't know. How many computers and servers make up an AI? I have no fucking idea. It takes, well, I'll tell you what, I'll start at the top end. Make up an AI is a different thing than train an AI. So there's large language models right now that fit on a Raspberry Pi that you can run locally on a Raspberry Pi. So the minimum number is one of these. I think this is 8 gigabytes. I think it requires 8 gigabytes. But they might even have it down to 4 now. That's the minimum. And then Zuckerberg said that Llama 3 is going to be trained on the equivalent of 600,000 H100 GPUs. Each GPU is $22,000. So that's for the training. That's for making these things as smart as they are. You got to throw a lot of GPUs at them. And then in terms of running them, I honestly don't know. I like Pate, if Pate's in here, Pate might know better than I do, but it ain't cheap. Like when you run a large language model query over to OpenAI, they're burning a lot of cycles, which is why they got a $10 billion investment from Microsoft. There wasn't any cash, going back and forth between them. That's $10 billion in compute cycles. Somewhere between a Raspberry Pi and 600,000 H100s is the answer. To be a little less smarmy, I mean, that's actually the truth. You can't train it on a Raspberry Pi, but you can run it on a Raspberry Pi. Pi, speaking of Pi, different Pi, the company Inflection raised $1.3 billion, and they're spending about $950 million of that on 22,000 H100 GPUs. So it seems like somewhere between 10 and 20,000 GPUs is the amount that you need to train one of these, what they call frontier models, the underlying core model that is the brain of the operations. It seems like it's somewhere between 10 and 20,000 H100 GPUs right now. So, I don't know. Pate. That should give some sense of the number of parameters. It's about 6 bytes per parameter. There you go. 6 bytes per parameter. Everybody knows that. It's like the Dave Portnoy thing. 1 byte, everybody knows the rules. 6 bytes per parameter, everybody knows the rules. Thank you, David Trott. What he said. So now it's just a calculator problem, right? 6 bytes per parameter. Find out how many billion parameters or trillion parameters your little model has. It's that number of bytes. There you go. Simple. Everybody knows the rules. 6 bytes per parameter. Is Pate here? Pate? I think it would be a supercomputer. A super graphics computer. It's not GPUs, or it's not CPUs, it's GPUs or TPUs. Or the new Grok thing, which I don't even know what that one is. My brain can't comprehend that. I know, Rachel Sparkles. Why do you think I'm dodging the question? Because I don't fucking know. And frankly, I don't care. Here's what I know. A bunch of mathematicians have spent the last 70 years figuring out enough shit about neural networks that when Google invented this thing called the transformer in 2017, the smart ones in the bunch said, ooh, this is all about data and compute. Let's go get as much compute as we can and as much data as we can. And the ones that did that best are the ones making noise in AI right now. OpenAI being the noisiest, because I think they started first and they recognized very early on, let's go get the best data we can get our hands on. And then let's throw as much fucking compute at it as we can. This was one of the things, Sam Altman's talked about this, that the stunning revelation was the more data you threw at these things and the more compute you threw at them, the smarter they got. And that's why they went from GPT-1 to 2 to 3 to 4. And then whoever. Tonight, coffee with creamer. Indeed. Well, not creamer. 2% milk. Call up Pate like Beetlejuice and he'll show up. Oh, you know what I gotta do? Let me put on a little. Let me see. Is that different than? Okay.
One of the developers here at Cognition AI, we were playing around with whether or not Devon could start a side hustle on Upwork. So here's actual real job from Upwork, where the client wants to set up this computer vision model, which actually looks quite interesting. It seems very difficult to set up. I'm not sure how I would start doing this, but you give the task to Devon and ask Devon to figure it out, and things just kick off. Devon immediately goes ahead, and you can see it sort of starts setting up the repo. It actually runs into some issues here with the versioning. So if you watch how Devon deals with it, Devon's actually updating the code to make these things work. He continues with this, loading and importing packages. You can see that actually downloads images from the internet to run through the model. But you can see here that there are actually some issues that come across. However, Devon knows how to handle these things. Devon kind of pushes through, and if you look closely, Devon's actually doing print line debugging here, where Devon is adding these statements to track where the data flows. And Devon continues to do this until Devon understands how everything's working, and actually then updates the code with the fixes after removing print line statements.
Unbelievable.
Devon continues this pattern of fixing code and running it again until it runs the image model across all of these rows across the world. And we can ask for a report from Devon. At which point, Devon sends over some sample images of roads with damage marked out, and a nice TXT file explaining Devon's work and the different kinds of outputs of the model. Good job, Devon.
Wow. So he's basically just babysitting this thing while it solves everything. He was just sort of scrolling through a history there, so who knows how long that took. But if that thing's just that's one of those things like make me a computer vision model. You go to bed and you wake up and it's done. Or even if it takes a week, you give it a week and it's done. I'm sure it's faster than a week though. And here's the thing. We were talking about this in the salon tonight. Is Sam Altman last week or a couple of weeks ago said 95% of what we pay marketing agencies and strategists and consultants for will be automated. 95%. The CEO of NVIDIA said we shouldn't be teaching our kids coding because coding should be completely democratized. If you read Twitter, that's a Gemini level demo. That's really funny, Vicky. Yeah, exactly. He was just sort of scrolling through there pretty quick, wasn't he? Yeah. So we don't know. Like anything that's demoware, just look at it with a deep sigh of skepticism. But this stuff's coming, right? Like this stuff is pretty close. But whether it's coding or whether it's marketing or whether it's consulting or whether it's design or whether just anything, filmmaking, music composition, systems are coming, sophisticated systems, autonomous systems with reasoning that are just going to be on a completely different plane from what we're experiencing now. Because what we experience now is we go in and we say, give me a th, and it goes, here's a puh. And then we look at it and we go, that's a piece of steaming poo. I don't like it. Do it again. And then it does it again. And then we do that until we get something we like or not. And then we just say AI doesn't work. These systems, all of that back and forth is going to happen in the system. You're going to give it a goal. Go make me a computer vision system for these cameras at this parking garage. And it's going to go start doing stuff. And it's going to debug and it's going to... And I'm sure there are checks and balances in there where occasionally it will check in with you and go, here's the status. Shall I continue? Sure. Click. I mean, don't think it's just programmers. Don't think it's just marketers. Don't think it's just anyone. Anything that's computer mediated is going to be bug splattered by these tools. And if you're thinking like, oh my God, that's terrifying. What do I do? You're doing it. You're here. If you join the AI salon, if you came to the salon tonight, if you're doing that, if you're in the conversation, you're doing it. There's nothing else we can do. I could protest. You could do that. It's like protesting against a hurricane, but you could absolutely do that. Hurricanes are bad. Up and down the beach, your little signs. It's like the world just before the internet went live. Yeah, the difference, Rashi, the difference right now between, and I would say not the internet went live, but when the World Wide Web went live, the difference between then and now is the infrastructure didn't exist in 1995. When I started playing in 1994 on World Wide Web stuff and internet stuff, we were on dial-up modems. The internet, like I remember looking at documents of the actual nodes on the internet. Like it was small enough that you could look at a document that had like 20 pages of just IP addresses. Those were all the nodes on the internet. Like it was not huge. And nobody had always on internet. Right? It was dial-up connections. You had to have your computer call another computer. Bob, yeah. Hey, I got some data I want to send over. Could you go on ahead and open up a port? Yeah, you got it there, Stan. It's like... So the difference now is... And the technology there was really, really simple. The technology was the hyperlink, right? If you distill it all down, it was click. That was the technology. And that was the thing that changed everything. But it was very simple and there was no infrastructure. These tools are not simple. These tools are not just making our work more efficient. These tools are starting to do our work. And when they get autonomous, like Devon is promising to be, go make me a computer vision system. I mean, even if that thing was mostly demoware, the first thing Devon did was go to set up a GitHub repo. Well, how long does it take you to set up a GitHub repo? If you're really fast, probably not that long. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. If you're a little slow, an hour. If you're just getting started, probably a week trying to figure out, how do I set this up? What do I do here? How do I set my permissions? Should I share this? Should I not share this? How do I write a README file? If all that thing did was set up a GitHub repo, that's pretty impressive, right? But that's just the first thing, and then it just goes. Being in the conversation is the best thing you can do for AI education. Empower Pixels. Thanks, Kyle, for these lives. Absolutely. That's why we're here. I remember when the insurance company that I worked for, they bought 1 megabyte of memory for $10,000. Exactly. This is the final frontier. I don't think it's the final frontier. Just joined. What are you talking about? We're talking about artificial intelligence. When I got my PhD in mathematics at Stanford, MIT, it was a Stanford-MIT collaboration called the Wharton School of Business. Yeah, that's the ticket, yeah. So it depends on cost. How much does Devon cost and who owns the code? I'm sure you'll own the code, and I'm sure it's going to be cheaper than hiring someone to do your coding for you. Even if it's $100 per project, but it won't be. It's, it's probably going to be some token-based shit where, some usage-based SaaS model. It's like one of the things I can't get my head around, and this is, I'm like, where my head is right now is kind of 5 years out or 10 years out, probably 5. But like, who do you need in a company? You need like relationship people and producers or creative directors, depending on or project manager, but not even project managers. You need like senior level people that have taste, that have relationships, and that can sell. So it's like, I could almost look at any possible company and say you could probably execute huge chunks of the company with 10 good people. And where do young people enter the market? What's entry level? What's entry level if all of the busy work, for lack of a better term, that you give entry level people, what if that's all automated? Where do those people go? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Sugar Ray Robinson. I coded my LLM by using ChatGPT. I can't really code. Better now than before I started. Yeah. That's the other thing. The reason to come here and watch me do stupid shit with AI is it will give you permission to do stupid shit with AI. If I serve no other role as other than being the town idiot, to be able to question stupid shit and try stupider shit, I think that's actually the really important thing to do right now. Because in trying stupid shit, what you may discover. Oh, I know something we could play with. We could play with the Midjourney has consistent characters now. That came out today or yesterday. I think the most valuable people are going to be people that understand that these tools can do lots of things and they have some capacity to think strategically or to think like a producer. Oh, I need to accomplish this for the business, for this audience, with the goal of giving them this service. Okay. And then they can look at these AI tools and pull them together. And once we get autonomous agents, that you won't even have to have that knowledge. Sherry D, bless you. Oh, thank you very much. Danielle, thank you so much. Y'all are sweet. If work is displaced, then what? V-Dancer, what world? Exactly. Moderators, please post. Kyle, please post your videos to YouTube, including timestamps. I know, I'm like a month behind on my videos. I need a producer. I need a producer. You know what I need? I need a fucking autonomous agent that goes to TikTok, downloads my stupid fucking video, uploads it to YouTube, runs a script on it, creates a description, creates chapterization, and sticks it up there. If you go to YouTube right now, AI Learning Lab -TT, you can see everything up till like mid-February, something like that. If work is displaced, then what we need radically changes. Exactly. Difficult to know what that will be. I know, Source Camp. This is my dilemma. This is my dilemma. Listen, darling. This is my dilemma. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I think the definition of work changes. I think where the value in society changes, where the value in the workplace changes, where the value in the marketplace changes. And then there's all sorts of weird shit like businesses could get short-term really profitable. Hey, let's get rid of all those pesky humans. They're the most expensive cost center in our business. Great. Look how profitable we are. Hey, why isn't anyone buying our shit? No one's working. They don't have money to buy the shit. I know that's one of the things people talk about. I don't think the government or big business will allow that to happen. So they'll figure some shit out. But there's going to be weirdness in that transition. These entry-level people will be forced to find different jobs that they may actually enjoy. Oh, listen, Diana, I totally agree. I think that there's a very real possibility that what AI does is kind of like COVID forced us to understand that the need to go to an office isn't actually a need, it's a choice. We can choose not to go to offices. Just like one day, globally, we all just go, we're not going to the office for 2 years. Like, we did that. We did that. And so I think what AI is going to do is it's going to be a similar kind of forcing function that forces people out of steady jobs that are soul-crushing, cog in the wheel, repetitive, shitty-ass work. But with current technology, it's work that needs to be done. So us humans head to the office 2 days a week now, and we do that job. We're like, I hate it, but I'll go to TGI Fridays and have a double margarita shooter popper. And I will drown my sorrows. TGIF. And if that kind of work gets forced out, then I think you're right. I think those people go, well, I got to figure something out. What do I do? And then all their friends are like, I'm doing AI and I got a job. Oh, I should learn AI. And then they start learning AI. And what they realize is, oh, I didn't think I'd ever be good at law stuff or drawing stuff or music stuff or consulting stuff, but now I am. And maybe I've got a real aptitude for it, and I'm good enough that people will start to trust me for my brain, knowing that all the tactical execution stuff is going to be done by the machines. So I think that's a possibility, but I don't think there's as many of those kind of positions as there are in the world today. So I don't know what those people do. There will also likely, and again, this is 5 years out, there will be new kinds of jobs we can't even imagine. When the steam engine hit the farms in the 1800s. The only thing they knew was farming. They didn't know what cities were. They didn't know what factories were. But they couldn't live on the farms anymore because the machines were doing the work. So they went to the cities. And there was new kinds of work there, like service business and, robbing people. you can start the mob. Extortion. So what's that look like for us? I don't know. I wonder. AI police. Exactly. AI mobsters and AI police. Watched Ready Player One. Debt camps are a realistic, scary thought like prison work currently. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you what. If you haven't seen Ready Player One recently, it kind of watches like a documentary. Like you're like, oh shit, we're pretty close to this. We're like 5 years from Ready Player One being a documentary. I wonder what the sentient Claude has to say about this topic. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, let's go talk to sentient Claude. Is it sentient or sentient? Oh, let's ask Claude. Duh. All right, people. Fine. I will practice what I preach. Okay. Claude. Bueller. Claude. Good evening, Kyle. What can I help you with? Let's see. Hello, Claude. I would like to understand how you pronounce the word is it a I just had to verify my humanness. Hello there. The word sentient and sentience is typically pronounced with an SH sound rather than a hard T. Sentient. Sentience. Sentience. I was right. Ha! Okay. Okay, Claude. Here's the real question. I think it is safe to assume that knowledge and creative work at a tactical level are going to be completely automated in the next 3 to 5 years, period. It seems to me that the most valuable people in an organization will be senior level people that can manage accounts, do sales, and act in a producer or creative director role. Period. Sam Altman said that he thinks that 90% of the work that we give to agencies, will be automated, period. My question is twofold, period. One, what happens to young people that used to do the lower level tactical work, period? Question mark. And what happens to the business models of large corporations that relied on those large workforces as a source of profit? That's a lot. You raise some important and complex questions about the potential impacts of a rapidly advancing AI and automation in the workforce. Here are some thoughts. 1. Entry-level and tactical roles. As AI... Oops. As AI and automation increasingly handle tactical, knowledge-based work, there will be fewer traditional entry-level opportunities for young people. This could create challenges for new graduates and those early in their careers to experience and move up. However, new types of roles may emerge. Yep, that's what we were saying. Working in AI systems, training models, prompt engineering, overseeing and validating AI-generated work. Except, I would trust senior level people over junior level people to validate that stuff because they've seen more shit. Educational institutions may need to adapt to equip students with these skills. Additionally, last mile work in customizing, localizing, that's it. That still doesn't answer where the young people go. Like that feels more strategic to me. While the landscape will likely change significantly, there's still ways they can... So there will still be ways for young people to add value and gain experience, even if traditional junior roles dwindle. Adaptability, AI literacy, skills traits that are hard for AI to replicate. Creativity, emotional intelligence, high-level strategy will be key. But that contradicts... So I guess young people can certainly have creativity. They can certainly have emotional intelligence, but they can't have high-level strategy right out of school. They don't have enough experience for it. That's not a good answer. Okay, impact on business models relying on human workforces. For companies and agencies that generate significant revenue, productizing and selling access to proprietary AI models, providing high-level strategy, account management and creative direction while using AI for execution. That's exactly what I said is going to happen, right? You know, a 10-person company can provide high-level strategy, account management, and creative direction. What happens to the 150 people that used to do the work? Offering niche bespoke services, that makes sense. Pivoting to new AI-driven business models entirely. Again, you know, where's my mouse? Pivoting to new AI-driven business models entirely. Actually, you know what? That's probably where young people go, is the older people, us Gen Xers. Okay, all right. Us old fucks, we're going to be able to figure out how to take existing companies and transition them to AI. Young people, because the entry level just essentially evaporates. Like, I kind of think of it like this. The bottom 50% of companies, the sort of lower level tactical roles of all companies in all industries just vaporizes, right? And there's no entry level, right? You sort of enter at a higher level. That's for existing companies, and they're going to have to figure out how to transition to that new reality. And again, this is 3 to 5 years out, and maybe even longer, but this I'm guessing 3 to 5. What's going to happen is all the people that were in the 50% jobs, the lower 50% jobs, or the entry level, are going to be out on their own. And they're going to have these AI tools, and they're going to start new companies that do completely different things that are going to start competing with the bigger established companies. And they're going to come fuck us up. all us seemingly hot shit Gen Xers that are like, oh yeah, we're AI literate. Look at us go. And they're going to come and just destroy us. I'm calling it babies born after 2023 will be called Gen AI. Oh, that's really good. A human being. Throw a TM behind that and start posting it all over Twitter. That's what I'm doing with my new catchphrase, 2023, the last normal year, TM. I'm putting it all over everything. Anytime something weird and fucked up shows up. I ran that transition with my mom's business as a thought experiment. Oh, interesting, Janu. Wow, that's cool. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is not an easy problem. This is not an easy problem. You want to see how to do consistent characters in Midjourney? I'll show you how. Gen AI. I like it. (2023) the last normal year. Anyone conceived in 2023, they were conceived the old-fashioned way. 2023, the last normal year. Okay. Have you ever... Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So, if you don't know this, we're switching gears now, by the way. Let me check in with you. Who has any questions? That was a hard left turn into MJ. Everyone's still on the ADD bus. Yeah, exactly. Let me pause for a second. I'm no longer talking about the future of humanity. Fuck it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Let's have some fun. Don't listen. Just play. Everything's going to be fine. You're here. Seriously. If you're AI literate in the next 18 months, if you even get remotely fucking AI literate, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's the people that are just ignoring this shit right now that are going to be blindsided by it. Those are the ones that just, it scares the shit out of me because it's like, it's going to be fucking sad. So anyway, that's why I do all this. What you drinking? Iced coffee. And Rocky Mountain tap water. Tasty. Do you wish you were born now? Fuck no. I mean, I wouldn't mind being a little younger. But actually not. You know what? No, because I feel like there have been kind of three major tech trends in my life. The first was the personal computer. Coffee this late. It's an ADD thing. Yeah, it actually calms me down. The first one was in the late 70s. I got introduced to a personal computer, and I realized I was just too young to be part of that, making me realize I should be using AI regularly. Bruiser Waney. So seriously, here's the thing. I think that I need to get better at this. I think everyone in here needs to get better at this. I heard this term 6 months or so ago called being AI native. And what being AI native means is whenever you have a problem, you try to solve it with AI first. And you just make it a habit. And I don't do it enough, and I should do it more. Because that's the only way you get to really understand how these tools actually solve problems. And you'll be the first one to know when they get good enough to really solve the problems, right? It's a really good point. The young with the experience of later years. Well, yeah. Oh, to be young with the experience of later years. Yeah, I know. That's always the lament, isn't it? Oh, wait. What did someone ask me about my age? So I had PCs when I was in 7th grade. I had the World Wide Web. I discovered it in 1994, right? It was Tim Berners-Lee created it in 89, and then I think it sort of got released into the world in 91. I discovered it in 94. And that I got to play in, right? I started one of the first digital agencies. I started one of the first online magazines in New York City. It was fucking insane. It was fucking amazing. And now this. And so having experienced those 3 run-ups, or well, 2 of the run-ups, and then experiencing the beginning of this one, I kind of like my experience right now. I kind of like where I am. I have perspective on this. I have experience, I have perspective, and yeah, I am psychologically unstable as a result. What are the best tools to start learning with? Is it ChatGPT 4 the best catch-all? Abso-fucking-lutely. 100%. In fact, if you go to the AI Salon, how you get to the AI Salon is you go there, the salon.ai, that's going to take you to a link tree that looks like this. And then the first link here is to the AI Salon community, and that is going to take you here. Welcome to the AI Salon, and you should read about who we are, why we do what we do, and our values. And if you dig this, and if these sound like your kind of people, you should join the adventure with us. Here, I'll read how we describe ourselves. A ragtag group of misfits, ne'er-do-wells, and miscreants who have gathered to explore the uncharted wilderness of generative AI, where everyone from entrepreneurs to educators, from healthcare workers to creatives, and everyone in between. If you dig that, you should join us. There's no cost, except I don't want you to join if you actually don't resonate with these values, because these values are the people that are in here right now. It's a really fucking remarkable place to be. But if you don't like those values, you will not dig it, and it will not dig you. Now, in the community section, the second little section is called community. The first link is introduce yourself. So if you join, introduce yourself. And then the third link down is called AI Launchpad and Tools. Click on that. And this is a list that I maintain. And this is like, where do I begin? If I want to get AI literate, where do I begin? What do I do? First thing I give you is a 3-step recipe for what to do. Play, solve, share. It's really simple. Play with this shit. Play with it every day. Play with it before you go to bed at night. Write songs with Suno. Make images with Ideogram. Make code with... It doesn't fucking matter. It literally doesn't matter. Play. Just play. Play. Like an annoying 3-year-old. Kyle. Just play. As you play, you'll figure out how these things do what they do and what they're good at. And then the next one is solve. And solve is, rather than sit in front of ChatGPT and go, how can I use ChatGPT? Solve a problem. Like if you have a friend that's starting a business, help them come up with a business plan or a marketing plan or an ad campaign. If you've got a church social on the weekend and you want some unique recipes, have it come up with some unique fucking recipes. Sam Corn, what's happening? And then the last one is share. Talk about what you're learning. Get in a community like OSE, the AI Salon. And then what the rest of this page is a list of tools. And these are all tools I think you should be aware of. The tool that I start with is ChatGPT. It's still the best until further notice. Although I will show you something interesting. It's downloading. Hold, please. Moderators, please post. Kyle, please try Tavos.io, clone your business self. Maybe I'll try that out. Okay. This page. ChatGPT 4 is still the best. But we now have 4 GPT-4 class large language models out there. Claude 3, Gemini Pro 1.5, and Inflection 2.5 for Pi. GPT 4.5 is rumored to be coming. We'll see. We'll see if we get anything this week or whenever. Doesn't fucking matter, really. You should start with ChatGPT. Absolutely. And here's the deal. When you go back to this site, here's ChatGPT Plus. Actually, I should change that to ChatGPT Plus. But each one of these bullet points is a whole other thing to learn. It's a whole other capability inside ChatGPT. You should learn them all. You should learn what they make possible. You should learn what they do. You should make yourself custom GPTs. I'm in bed with AI nightly, 3 a.m. Me, Bing. Is there life on Mars? Bing, yes, go to sleep. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's go do some Midjourney stuff. Okay, if you haven't done anything in Midjourney, what you do in Midjourney is you go /imagine a cyborg walking down a Neo-Tokyo street. Oh, wait, I spelled imagine wrong. Walking down a Neo-Tokyo street at midnight in a rainstorm. And then I'm going to go --AR for aspect ratio, 16:9. And if you haven't made anything with Midjourney, you're like, good God, are you right? Are you making images with command line prompts? Yes. That's the shitty reality right now. All right. So I'm going to make this, and we'll see what it looks like. Devon sounds very interesting. It does. Empower pixels, exactly. He never mentioned perplexity. It's more accurate than all the others. Yeah, but I wouldn't call perplexity GPT-4 level good. It may be. Jeff Bezos invested a shit ton of money in it, and they might be making their own models, and they might be getting better, but they're not there yet. What perplexity is better at than the other ones is research and citations. So it's more accurate. It doesn't mean it's better. It's just different. It's just a different tool. When perplexity is in that class, I'll talk about it all fucking day long. Ask anyone in here. I take shit off that list and put it on the list all the time. But those are the 4 right now that I would consider getting there. And you can also ask this list, Gemini, I made fun of Gemini for a year and a half now. They got their heads up their butts over there, but they're getting it together. All right. So here's our Neo-Tokyo dudes walking down the streets. Those are fine. They look good. But let's say that we wanted the Neo-Tokyo, our cyborg, to look like a particular cyborg. So Midjourney added this new thing called CREF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a file. I'm going to go find this thing called Genesis. Where is it? Genesis. Name contains Genesis. That's my AI dude. So I just hit the plus button to upload it. So now it's uploaded. So now what I can do is right click this. This is fucking ridiculous. You shouldn't have to do this, but this is how it is right now. So I'm going to copy the link. No, I won't do that just now. No, I'm going to copy this prompt. And then I'm going to go /imagine. I'm going to put the prompt in there. And then I'm going to go -- cref, CREF, which stands for character reference, ref. And then I'm going to put a space, and I'm going to right click and copy the link to this image. So what you do is you upload an image to Midjourney or to Discord. I copied the URL for that image, and now I'm going to paste it after a space after the cref. And so what this is going to do is going to give me the exact same prompt, the exact same aspect ratio, but it's going to use this image as a character reference for what gets created. Let's see how it does. And then I should be able to just keep making all sorts of different prompts using that same cref. Perplexity does allow the user to choose their favorite model, including GPT-4. Yep. Yeah, I get it. Listen, there are a lot of good tools that are using those bigger foundational models. The ones that I'm talking about are the foundational models. So, but listen, I am a fan of Perplexity. I got a free pro account when I bought my Rabbit R1. Yay. But now look, that sort of looks like me from the side. That's pretty slick. These two are from behind, so those are weird. That's from the front. So let's do variations. So the way you do Midjourney, there's these U's and V's. So U's are upscale, V's are variation. So I'm going to do a variation of number 1. It'll give me 4 more of number 1. And then I'm going to do an upscale of number 2, because that sort of looks like me. And then these two are just shitty. So let's see, a cyborg walking down the street. So I'm going to say, let's copy this whole thing. So that's the whole prompt. So I'm going to do /imagine. I'm going to put the whole prompt in there. I'm going to say a cyborg walking toward the camera on a New York City street at midnight in a rainstorm. All right, so that's doing its thing. But look at that. I mean, it's not quite the same cyborg, but it's got the right hair, it's got the right nose, the right chin, the right jacket, the little cyborg-looking doodad, right? That's not bad. Not bad at all, people. And then here's the variations. Can you repeat how to set that up? Absolutely. For you, Cam Catkin? Absolutely. Cam Catkin from Cleveland. She gets anything she wants. Oh, yeah. That's what we're going to do. Yep. Well, we're going to do it. All right. So here's how you do it. You first upload the image that you want to use as the character reference, right? It apparently really helps if it's a Midjourney generated image. Don't know why, but it does. I feel like you could always do this by pasting in a URL of image, even could add multiple reference images. Yeah, I think that's right. I am teaching you how to do something I've done like 4 times. So I really don't know. Your prompt sounds like Blade Runner. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, this one's so good. Upscale 3. That's so good. Upscale creative. Look at that. That's so cool. It was a rainy night in Tokyo. She looked at me askant from the alleyway. She said, "What are your qualifications?" Okay. So here's how you set this up from scratch. You put in your normal prompt. So I'll just copy this, and then we're going to change it. So you put in a normal prompt. So /imagine, and then I'm going to put in the prompt. And at the end, I have --AR for aspect ratio 16:9. But I'm going to say, instead of a cyborg walking toward the camera, I'm going to say a cowboy walking toward the camera on a Wild West street at high noon. We'll just leave it at high noon. So completely different thing. Now, I want this cowboy to be this character. So at the end of the aspect ratio, I'm going to go space --cref, CREF, for character reference, space, and then I'm going to go up to that image that I uploaded, right click it, copy the link. My qualification is I am an irregular. You know what's cool? Someone told me today, and you should do this. Someone told me today they put under their LinkedIn profile that they were a member of the AI Salon, and they talked about it in a job interview, and the job interview people were very impressed. Ha! Don't know if they'll get the job yet, but... Okay, so... Prompt, a cowboy walking toward the camera, --AR, aspect ratio 16:9, space, --CREF, space, and then you paste in that URL. So I right-clicked the ref image and put it in there. So now we should get, some version of, these things, but it's a cowboy in a Wild West town rather than a cyborg in a thing. And it should have some sort of cool glasses on and some sort of blue eyewear, something like that. Comic book creation is going to be off the hook. I know, Sherry D, it's so cool, right? Look, I can even, the shape of the head right now, I can even see it's got my head shape. Yep. Look at that. Now, is it perfect? No. Is this ref only possible in desktop, or is it also on mobile? It's anywhere where you can do, if you're in, oh boy, did it make some bizarre fucking bodies. This one's pretty cool though. That number one, we'll upscale that one. Not exactly a cowboy, but it's kind of a cowboy. I mean, it is in a Western town. He's got blue eyes. That's kind of cool, actually. It's got my hair. It's a scowly version of me. Scowly, jolly version of me. No, you should be able to do this on mobile. You just go into the Discord app and just do... Now, here's the thing about Midjourney. You have to pay for it. It ain't free. It's like $10 a month. But these are the first guys to make it relatively easy to do character references. If an employer wants my AI reference, I'm sending them to Kyle. But you know what my response is going to be? They're an irregular. I don't think it's going to bode well for you. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to get out of here, people. I'm going to get out of here. Dear. Friggin' lasers in his head. Now we went from Blade Runner to Westworld. Exactly. But, I mean, go into Midjourney, make a couple of characters. If you like a character, make a cute little animal or make a cute character or a scary character or whatever, and then just start putting that character in other scenes and in other styles. And there's also a waiting. If you go to the Discord for Midjourney, go to the announcements, there's --CREF is the character reference, and then you can go --CW, which is character weight, And you can go from 0 to 100. And if you go from 0, if it's at 0, it just keeps the face. Everything else changes. If you go to 100, I think it keeps like the hair, the costume, what the person's wearing, everything. And so you can dick with what parts of the character it keeps. Or you can just do the default like I just did there. Again, I haven't played with this a lot, so I don't really know what works. Peter Kaminsky, if you go to the show and tell area in the AI Salon, Peter Kaminsky's put up a bunch of test stuff and what he did to get there. So you should follow him. Follow him. Great info tonight, Kyle. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so 127 of you in here. Please, if you don't already, follow my channel. That would be swell. If you're so inclined to want to support the channel, subscribe to the lives, or you can buy the video series in one of the corners. You can also join the AI Salon. The AI Salon is at that URL, thesalon.ai. Go check out our values and what we're all about. Thank you, Empower Pixels. Nicholas, thank you so much. Thank you. Clean Copperhead. Oh, yes. Join my team. Thank you to the irregulars. Thank you to the mods for modding. Thank you to those of you giving gifts right now. Appreciate that. Thank you for the tappers. The tappers, what did we get to tonight? 18,000. We didn't crack 20,000. You were a little lazy, but I was giving you stuff to play with, so I understand. It's all right. It's late. I think that's it. So, who's in here tonight? Clint Copperhead, good to see you. Lord Digital Gods, thank you very much. Very kind of you, sir. Very kind of you indeed. Little lazy, Tams. I was a tapper. Thank you, Diana. Have a great night, Kyle. And everyone, thank you, a human being. Lily Begans, 20K. Oh, we just hit 20K. You guys are awesome. Did first 3, still stuck on introduction because AI is evolving. I know. Vegas Moxie, thank you so much. Hello from DY. Where's DY? Down yonder. Oh, how's down yonder? Aloha from Honolulu. Hello from Detroit. We did it. We hit 20,000. Otto, good to see you. Danielle, thank you as always. You're amazing. Simon says tech. Against the norm. Brandon, thank you so much. Sherry D, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Emilio's wife was on time. I don't think she was on time, but I was late tonight. See, she knows. She knows how to play the professor. She's a professional. Empower Pixels, thank you so much. Lily Bagons. Diana, good to see you. All right. Against the norm. Gritty Wisdom. Awesome to see you. I've seen you in here a number of times now. That's very cool. Angelique, keep coming back. Keep coming back to these. It's important. Stay in the conversation. I know it's fucking overwhelming. I know it's exhausting. I know you feel like you're completely behind. I know you feel like you're completely clueless. You are, but we all are. So does that make you feel better? There's misery in company. Wait, there's misery loves company. There's love in misery with company. Peace out, everybody. Thank you, Vegas Moxie. Thank you, V-Dancer. I really appreciate that. You're the best. You make AI fun. Hey, if the robots are going to take us down, we might as well have a good time on the way, right? On an actual serious note, I think us having fun with AI is actually bending the use of AI in a positive direction, if ever so slightly. So the more of us that can actually embrace it, have fun with it, it's bending it toward the good. And over time, that's going to make a huge difference. That's what I firmly believe. Firmly believe it. We're at 24,800. You'll never make 25,000. Oh, no, we're at 27,000. We're well past that. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.